Hi everyone, and welcome to Squirrel Pie Productions, my podcast about knitting, spinning, and sewing. My name is Tommi, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Dynamite Trujillo. Welcome to episode 28 of my podcast. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome to any new viewers. Thank you for checking out my YouTube channel, and a big welcome back to any returning viewers. I appreciate your time. I love that you're here. Thank you so much for watching. So today is another really nice foggy and overcast Friday in July on the Northern California coast where I'm coming to you from. We do have a Ravelry group for this podcast that you should totally go check out and join if you want to. That is where you'll find show notes for this episode and all previous episodes. It's also where you'll find giveaways and knit-alongs and all kinds of fun stuff. There's an Ask Me Anything thread in there, so check that out if you want to. We do have both giveaway and knit-along stuff to talk about today, so I'm pretty excited about that. We've got a knit-along going on right now. It is a brioche knit-along, and I am super obsessed with brioche right now, so to drag you all onto the brioche train with me, am offering up some prizes for you to knit some brioche. So check out the thread in Ravelry. There's a chatter thread and an FO thread. Whips are welcome. You just have to knit some brioche along with us and share your progress. So that knit along is running through July. It'll end in the beginning of August. And there's a couple of lovely prizes for that. So check that out in the thread. And you guys are knitting such amazing stuff. I'm so happy to see your progress in the brioche chatter thread. We've got some beginner briochers, which is really, really exciting. I'm so happy you guys are taking part. So thank you so much for participating in that. And use the hashtag briochealong2017 to share your stuff on Instagram. I am going to announce the winner now of the 1,000 subscriber giveaway that I announced last week. We had hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I was so excited about that, so I wanted to do a little giveaway to show you guys my appreciation for watching and subscribing, and just thank you to everybody. Thank you. But I opened a thread in the Ravelry group and asked you guys what your favorite thing was other than crafting. And you guys are such awesome, interesting people. It was so much fun to read through that thread. I recommend just going through the thread and reading it if you're bored. It's pretty awesome. You guys like really cool stuff that I like too. So that was really exciting. We've got a lot of people who love reading and watching movies and walking and hiking and cooking and baking, and you guys are awesome. So thank you so much for taking part in that giveaway. I did pick a winner just a few minutes ago, and I used random.org to randomly pick a winner. And first I'm going to show you the prize that I've got up for grabs. So I've got a skein of my hand-dyed yarn, which is Moonstone Dye Works. And this is in the high and low colorway. And it's on my Stellina sock base, so it is a 75-25% superwash merino nylon Stellina. I love this yarn, so the winner is going to get a skein of this skein, and then I've also got a couple of local favorites of mine, some chocolate and some tea. So this is by Dick Taylor Chocolates, and they're a local to me chocolatier. So there's a bar of chocolate, fleur de sel, which means there's salt in it, which is super good. And they're a really cool company. They take raw unprocessed cocoa beans and they process them themselves, I think in like vintage machinery, and sell these. So this is super delicious. I've also got some herbal tea that I love. This is super duper good. I love this stuff. So we've got chocolate tea and yarn. And I'm going to throw a couple of other things in there too. It smells really good. So the winner of that awesome prize package was drawn just a few minutes ago using random.org. And the winner, randomly drawn by the computer, was Cricket Rollins. Congratulations, Cricket Rollins. She is Cricket from Illinois, and she loves to bake, and I do too, Cricket. So congratulations. I'm super duper happy for you. PM me on Ravelry, send me your full name and your mailing address, and I will get your prize out to you straight away. So thank you so much, everybody, for participating in that giveaway. I think you all are awesome, and I loved reading through that thread. And just thank you for subscribing and watching and entering the giveaway. I love doing giveaways, so there's a lot more of that in our future here on Squirrel Pie Productions. Yes. Okay, on to some knitting stuff. I do have an FO, but I forgot to tell you what I'm wearing. But I've told you about this like a million times, so it's kind of old hat now, but this is my Agnes dress. This is a Tilly in the Button sewing pattern. It's an Agnes top is the pattern. I extended it to be a dress. I pretty much just lengthened it, but I've talked about that lots before, so we won't dwell. But it is black. Black is my favorite color to wear. So, now on to some knitting. I do have an FO. I finished a pair of socks that I started a little while ago. You haven't seen these for a couple weeks, and I picked these up last weekend and just banged them out. These are my Jinx socks. So this is Jinx yarn in the Strong Sport base in the Rainbow colorway, and I love them. So this is what I have left. And this is really beautiful yarn. I love these colors, just really muted shades of a rainbow. Love them. And this is her tag, Jinx Yarns. I love her. She was one of the first indie dyers that I got into a long time ago. So, these socks, like I said, you saw a couple weeks ago. Here's the other one. I showed you last when I had a hoe. I had one sock done, and I was just starting the second sock. Well, I started the second sock and decided that the first sock that I knit was too short. So I knit the second sock longer with a longer leg and finished it, and then ripped out from here to here on the first sock that I had knit, and then re-knit that part. So these socks have been knit on a lot, and I did most of that this past week. I always kind of want to think that I would enjoy a shorter cuffed sock. I really want some shorty socks. Like, in theory, I really want some shorty socks. But every time I try to knit a sock with a short cuff, I dislike it, kind of. I don't know, they're just not that fun for me to wear. I like a longer cuff, and I just need to accept that. So I ripped half of one of these socks out and re-knit it so that it had a longer cuff, and I'm really, really happy with how they turned out now. They fit great. I did a 48 stitch count for these. I normally do a 56 for socks, but since this is sport weight, I went up a needle size and down in stitch count. So these were knit on a 1.5 for the body and a 1 for the cuff. 48 stitch count, 2x2 rib, and then I did a heel flap and gusset, which is my favorite, and my traditional rounded toe with the Kitchener finish. There's that Kitchener right there, and I love them. So here's the second one, and this is probably pair number 7 for my box of socks. I'm not really sure. I started wearing my socks for my box of socks, which wasn't my original intention, but they kept looking at me from their box, and so I just tore into them. I've worn every single pair now, so now they're all just like in my sock thing, and I have no idea how many I've knit. So I think this is 7, and I love them. There is another sock knit along that I want to tell you guys about because I think it's really, really cool. Caitlin from the Wool Jewel podcast has started a sock knit along called Any Sock'll Do, Cal, and it's a knit along that you can enter your socks into when they don't qualify for any of the other sock knit alongs. I think that's super neat because sometimes there's sock knit alongs that have a yardage minimum. And I think for her and for me, this is always an issue because I knit, I guess, pretty small socks. And I don't use that much yardage in my socks. I'll use I think 40 grams in socks, or maybe 50 even. I think 50. I think I use 50 grams. But that's not much yardage. And sometimes there's a yardage minimum. Sometimes there's a sock or a yarn weight minimum, or who it's for or whatever. So there's a bunch of sock knit-alongs out there, and they all, have their thing. But her knit-along is for when you knit socks and they don't qualify for any of the other knit-alongs because of whatever reason. And I think that's super cool. So if that sounds like it is your kind of bag, you should go check it out. And you should check out her podcast anyway, because it is awesome. So that's the Wool Jill podcast, the Any Sock Will Do Cow. Check it out. So I'm super happy to have an FO this week. I can't wait to wear these, especially since I'm not saving my socks anymore. I broke my sock promise for the year. I'm excited to wear them. I don't care. So, yay for FOs. What's next? I have some whips, not that many. I am back at work this week. I went back to work this last week, and so that cuts out 8 hours a day that I can't knit. So I did a lot less fun stuff this week than I did last week, but I do have a couple things to show you that I worked on. The first is a project that I'm not that excited about, but I'm trying to get done. This is my color dipped hat. It's a Pearl Soho pattern, and this is Fisherman's Rib. And for this I'm using some gray fingering weight yarn that I had in stash. I think it's some Cascade. And then the main color here, this blue, is Moonstone Dyeworks in the Come On Over colorway. It's the Merino Fingering Base, which is 100% superwash merino wool. And it is slow going, and it is boring, and I'm not loving it. But I'm trying to get it done because it is a gift. It's a baby hat, and it's a gift for somebody that I have to mail it to, so I'm trying to get it done as soon as I can. I considered stopping working on it because it's taking forever, because it's 1x1 Fisherman's Rib, which takes forever. Also, I feel like it's really big. Is it just me, or does this look really big for a baby hat? I feel like this would fit me. I don't know. I did the size in between, the two smallest sizes, which is, I think, infant and toddler. So maybe I should have gone with the smallest infant size. I don't know. It just looks really big for a baby hat to me. So I considered putting it down and maybe even just binding it off and using it as a headband for me, because I'm pretty sure this would fit me. And starting over on another hat and maybe holding the yarn double so that it would go a little quicker. I decided to just keep going with this hat though, and just getting it done. And if it's too big, I don't know, maybe oh well, and the kid can wear it when it's older. I don't really know. Seriously, this looks way too big for a baby. But I don't know. I don't have that much experience with babies, so maybe babies have big heads. I know I have a small head, so that's... But anyway, this is the Pearl Soho color dipped hat. It's a cool hat. It's just not that fun for me to knit on. Fisherman's Rib is not my favorite. I am knitting this on a size 2, so there's another thing. Really small needles, really thin yarn, 1x1 ribbing. This is the cake yarn. So like I said, this is the Come On Over colorway, Moonstone Dyeworks. And we're coming along. This is happening. It's happening. It's just happening slowly. I think it might be late for its deadline, but we'll see. We'll see. Yes. That is it for that. I'm not going to look at that for another few minutes. I got to get on it, though. I got to finish it. I really do. My next project, though, is way more exciting. It is the Oracle Shawl, which is Kristen of the Yarngasm Podcast's Test Knit. She designed this incredibly beautiful pie shawl pattern, and I am one of her test knitters. I'm super lucky, and I'm keeping this in my guest Lee's project bag. As Katie of Inside Number 23 last week, who's also test knitting it, said, the Ghastly's project bag is just perfect for this shawl in every way. She's got her own Ghastly's bag, so she's keeping hers in that one. So this is what we have so far. It's a pie shawl, and if you've seen me knit pie shawls before, you will know that for a long time they just look like a blob. So this is my beautiful blob right now. This is all made with Wool and Vine yarns, and it's so squishy and lovely and beautiful, and I love it. So far we have this beautiful brioche section in the middle, this beautiful hot pink lace section that comes next, the funnest brioche in the whole entire world, which is this next section, and the section that I'm on now that I am just about done with is this lace section. And as I talked about last week, I like to use 1,000,000 stitch markers when I do lace because it makes it easier. And I have got 1,000,000 stitch markers on this project right now. I had to literally go into my stitch marker stash and dig out every single stitch marker I own because this shawl gets pretty big. There's a lot of stitches on the needles right now, so there's a lot of lace repeats. And so I needed a lot of stitch markers, and I found all my stitch markers. These are some of my favorite stitch markers right here. These were sent to me in a swap by somebody who makes these little, I think it's called chainmail stitch markers. I love them. I also, as a last resort, had to go into my stitch marker stash and break out these stitch markers, which I actually really dislike. They're plastic stitch markers, and they're these plastic rings. So they have these little snaggy bits. I don't like them. But last resort, I had to use all my stitch markers. And it's been helping. It's been like super helping because like I said last time, there have been a couple times where like I'll forget to do a yarn over or something like that. And with the stitch markers, I know immediately what my mistake was. And I can fix it right away. It's awesome. And I have got my Tilting Planet Progress Keeper on here, acting as my beginning of round stitch marker. And I love this shawl so far so much. This is, it's just the best project. I love it. So the yarns that I'm using, like I said, are all Wool and Vine yarns. She put together this kit for me to test knit this shawl. And she is having kits available for the Oracle shawl in her shop. So check that out. She's got amazing color sense, and she picked out 3 amazing colors for me, and I love them. So that's what I've got. My color A is Fig Bash, and it's this beautiful, beautiful color with gold tones and like this like minty creamy tone, and it's speckled, and there's hot pink in here, and I love it so much. This is like my new favorite Wool and Vine colorway. It's beautiful, and it's what I'm doing the lace section out of right now, and it looks so good in lace. Oh my god. So this is Fig Bash, and these are all in her Nouveau base. My color B is Prickly Pear, which is just freaking awesome. And my color C is Last Unicorn, which is like my other favorite color ever. So I believe this is one of the kits that she's putting together for sale for the Oracle shawl. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. So, like I said, I am just about done with this color A lace section, and it just looks so good. I love it so much. I think I'm almost done with the shawl. There's a couple more sections after this, and I think there's another brioche, another lace. The border, it's got an I-cord bind off, which I love. And seriously, guys, this is so much fun. The lace is super intuitive. I've got it memorized, so all I need to do is keep track of my rounds, and I'm good to go. It's so easy, but it's really engaging and really fun. This brioche section here is just It's just my favorite. It was so much fun to do. And we're coming along. I love the colors. You guys are seriously going to want to make this because it's awesome. I love pie shawls a lot. And if you have not made one before, I highly recommend this one. I think you should make a pie shawl just anyway because they're awesome. And it's a really good way to channel your inner Elizabeth Zimmerman. I mean, why not? So pie shawls, I love them. I love brioche, I love lace, and this has got it all. So I think this pattern is set to come out at the beginning of August, so keep an eye out for that. You're seriously going to want to knit it. You want to knit it right now. I know you do, because it's so fun. You're so jealous. I know, I'm sorry. I feel so bad. But you can knit it soon enough. It'll come out soon. So far, here's my blob. I am knitting my beautiful blob on size 6 High Sharps needles from my interchangeable set. And I'm having a blast. Kristen, I love knitting this so much. It is so much fun. So, Oracle Shawl. I can't wait till it gets released because I can't wait for you guys to knit it. Because it's fun. And I can't believe how fast it's going. I'm usually pretty dang slow, and it's like flying off. So that's all I'm knitting this week. Like I said, work really cuts into your fun time kind of times. It's unfortunate. But we got to keep the lights on here at Squirrel Pie HQ, so what are you going to do? I am having a shop update tomorrow, which is Saturday, July 8th. At 10 a.m. Pacific time. This is the Moonstone Dye Works Etsy shop, so there will be a link below and also in the show notes. Check that out if you're interested. I'm going to show you what I'm going to have in the shop right now. I have got 3 colorways that I have dyed this week across a bunch of bases. I did introduce 2 new bases to my shop that I'm really, really excited about. So my bases that I had before were merino fingering, which is 100% superwash merino 2-ply. I also have a stellina sock, which is superwash merino, nylon, and stellina. And I've also got a merino single ply, 100% merino. I love it. I got 2 new bases that I'm super excited about. One is a single ply superwash merino and stellina base. I love that one. I used a sample skein of that one in my exploration station shawl, and I loved it. So I'm starting to carry that. I've also got another sock yarn. It's a BFL nylon blend, and I love it. I love BFL sock yarns, and I found one that I really like, so I'm going to be carrying that, and all of those bases are going to be on the shop tomorrow. So let me show you what I've got. First, I have got my Lover's Rock colorway that I dyed up. I dyed up a bunch of these. So I'll have Lover's Rock on BFL sock, merino singles, and stellina singles. So that's that one. I've also got Mild Envy. And this is my mint green. This is going to be on the same basis, BFL sock, stellina single, and merino singles. And I've also got Floating. And Floating is going to be on merino fingering, merino single, and stellina sock. So those are pretty much the colors that I used in my exploration station shawl. Less color A, which was Valerie, which unfortunately is non-repeatable. I have tried to recreate it and I cannot. So those are the colorways I'm going to be having up in the shop. I still do have some yarn that was up in the shop previously, including high and low and some other colorways. So check that out. There's yarn in the shop right now if you want to check it out now. But tomorrow at 10 a.m. Saturday, July 8th, there will be those 3 colorways. And I love those colorways a lot. They're all definitely going to be regulars. Floating, like I've said before, is pretty much my favorite colorway that I dye. It is my Twin Peaks inspired colorway. Floating is the name of the Julie Cruz album. Well, Floating into the Night is the name of the Julie Cruz album, which to me is kind of a companion album to the original Twin Peaks series. So anyway, I hope you guys can make it. If you're interested, check that out. And that is it for Shop Update. Next up, I'm going to do a little chicken update. So as you guys know, I mentioned it when we first started it, maybe at least a month ago, we had got chicks. We got meat chickens to raise and use for meat. And the day came. It happened. And I've been hesitant to talk about it on the podcast because I know, for one, not everybody's interested in it. And for two, I think some people are, I don't know, I think some people don't want to hear about that kind of thing. And I totally understand that. So I've been a little hesitant to talk about it on the podcast, but I knew I would someday because I told you about it and then I don't want to just never talk about it again. And, a kind viewer did ask about it, so that was kind of the kick in the butt I needed to just tell you about it. And I'm not going to go into detail, but I do want to let you know and give you an update. We had raised 13 meat chickens from chicks, and we now have 12 chickens in our freezer for all of our chicken for the next year. And it was hard, but totally worth it. I'm really excited and proud to have raised my own meat for a year's worth of meat. And I'm excited. It was our first time doing it. We've had chickens for years, but we've always only had egg chickens, and we love our egg chickens. They're livestock, but they're almost like pets too because we love them. But we've never raised our own meat before. We've raised our own eggs. We've raised lots of our own produce. It's really important to us and to me to raise our own food and to not completely, but kind of strictly stick to a really local based diet. It's something that's really important to me and my husband. And we live in a rural community where a lot of really good small production organic produce and meat are all raised in our community and is really easily available. And so that's something that's really important to us, and something that's really important to me that I've always wanted to get to a point where I can do is to raise most of my own food in general. So we have never done meat animals before, and we decided to start with chickens. And I live in a neighborhood. I live in a regular neighborhood with neighbors and stuff. So chickens is pretty much the only thing we can do for now. I would love to have more animals, more livestock for other things too, like milk and meat and other things and fiber. But that's for one day when we have more property. But for now, we raised 13 meat chickens. It was an experience. Like I said, it was our first time doing it, so it was an experiment, and it was great. It was hard work. Through the 2 months that we raised them, it was very hard work the day of the slaughter. And we got through it though. It was an emotional day. It was sad. There was a lot of thanking the chickens, and we dealt with it. It wasn't fun or anything. It was very tough. Emotionally and physically, it was very hard work. It took a long time to do 13 chickens, and but it was an experience. I'm really glad we did it. We learned a lot. We watched a lot of YouTube videos, and we'll definitely be able to do it probably a little more smoothly next time. I'm hoping to do it again next year. So we ate the first one the following week. after we did it. We wanted to eat the first one that evening, but we were just way too exhausted after cleaning everything up. My brother-in-law, my husband's brother, came over and helped us, so it was us three working all day to do it. And that night we just ended up having pizza because we were pooped. We were so tired. And then we cured the first chicken in the fridge for a couple days. We salted it, and so it was kind of a dry brine. It was really, really good. We roasted the first one, and it was delicious. The next night with the leftovers, we made chicken taquitos, which was delicious, and then I made stock with the rest of it. And I love making chicken stock. It's like my favorite thing in the whole world. So that was awesome. And now we've got the rest of them in the freezer. We are going to eat one every month, and I'm super excited about it. So that's the story with the chickens. We did it, and I'm pretty dang proud of myself. I'm pretty proud of us. It was a good experience. It was sad and emotional and full of love and heartache. but like I said, it was a good experience. I really want to do it again. So we're actually going to a poultry exchange on Sunday, which is the day after tomorrow, to get another egg chicken. We want to add another chicken or two to our egg flock. So that'll be exciting. I am thinking we might want to get a Buff Orpington, which is my husband's dream chicken. He's always wanted a Buff Orpington. They're really beautiful chickens. And maybe a French Marin, I think is what they're called. Those chickens are super cool. They lay really deep, like magenta purple, like just really deep brown with like a hint of magenta purple in it. Oh, so pretty. So that's the chicken update. Yeah, I hope you liked it. If not, I understand. I totally get it. And another on the food front, we got a new waffle maker. I talked about a few episodes ago how obsessed I am with waffles right now, and I decided I need to buy a new waffle maker, so I did. And we got it yesterday, and I used it for the first time this morning. I loved it. We got I think it's called Krups or Krups, I'm not sure. I'll link to the one that we got in the show notes. It's awesome, and it does 4 big waffles at one time, so you don't have to do it in batches if you're just 2 people. I have been really liking this overnight yeasted waffle batter that is a recipe that I got from Smitten Kitchen, and I will link to that in the show notes. Right now, that's my favorite waffle batter recipe. I omit the sugar, just because I generally do omit or lessen sugar when a recipe calls for sugar. I don't like things that sweet. And that way you can use it for sweet or savory waffles. So waffles, chicken and waffles, that's going to happen. That's definitely going to happen. Well, you guys, that is all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend, or had an awesome weekend, depending on when you're watching. I hope your summer is going fantastically. And if you're in the States, I hope you had a really great and safe 4th of July. I hope you knit a lot this week. I hope you eat a lot of good food. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to be kept up to date on future episodes. Join the Ravelry group. Join the Brioche Knit Along. So fun, and I want you to have fun too. Join it. At least check out the thread. Check out some of those patterns. I hope you guys have a great week. Stay awesome and have fun. Bye, guys.